Aries, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for early May 2023. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes into energy and see what's going on for the lovely Aries collective. I hope you're all doing fabulous, my friends. Let's shuffle it up one time here. Talk to me, my guides. What's up with Aries? And yeah, we're going to look at this first card super quick, then we'll get into the full reading itself, and at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean in on, which is always interesting. But let's go. Let's get it rocking and popping here for my Aries people. My guides, talk to me. All right, that card popped out immediately. So luckily, this is one of my favorite cards in this Oracle deck. It is very Empress-like, very fertile, extremely abundant, nurturing, loving, and caring. So even if we do have some challenges in the reading, this is a silver lining. Now, before we start peeling back all the layers on that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the May subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Have a look at this card. So we see this mother figure. She is holding that baby, snuggling it, cuddling it. So of course, when I see this, you might be a little more affectionate than usual. Or affection, the human touch, could be something you're craving. I do feel like that. Maybe there's someone you're connected to that needs a few hugs, needs a squeeze or two, right? And I'll give you a virtual hug if you need it. But to me, this is also a very abundant type of card. It could speak about creation, but when I see this, I think of those beautiful Empress types of vibes, just the overflowing fertility and abundance, which is really good. So there might be blessings coming into your life. Not saying you're about to have a baby or anything like that. You might be. But when this card shows up, I think of much creation and good things. If not, you might just need a hug. But we're just going to place her down right here. Let's get into the reading. Okay, and I always say that first card doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a footnote. I'm going to get you 3 of these tarot cards into upright, then we'll get that intuitive juiciness flowing. Shuffle it up here one time for Aries. Let's see what we got for you in early May. So, last week's reading was titled An Unexpected Talk. So a lot of you could have been having very interesting conversations, whether people hitting you up, you hitting other people up. There was a huge focus on communication for the Aries collective last week. So we're going to see what we have this week. You know, energy is very fluid. It's always moving, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, right? Because we could be looking at your energy and vibe or somebody you're connected to, right? It's tons of Aries out there, myself included. So let's get you 3. What do we have for Aries? Nice and quick. The deck is being particular, which is okay. Now, for anyone new here, I only read jumpers. Now, we do have some action and movement. Could be turning your back to something here with the 8 of Cups in position number 1. We'll talk about it. To me, that's a neutral card, so we're not going to get worried about that. Let's get 2 more. That is action starting, and if you know my style reading, I like when we start with an action card, okay, because there's a fluidity to that. Let's get you 2 more. There's a little mystery with that card as well, especially since the moon is pictured in it. There we go. Yeah. Picking up steam. So we're starting with action, then picking up even more momentum, more steam. Very interesting, my friends. With the Chariot in position number 2. Let's get you 1 more. Travel could be really on a lot of Aries minds right now, going on trips, going on vacays. But there is this action-based energy, which I know as an Aries myself, we're all about that action, that movement. Okay, all action here. We have the 6 of Swords right here on the back end. So this is going to be an interesting one, my friends. And you also have a bonus, which is the 10 of Wands. That's something for us to take a look at for sure. So let's go through. I'll give you a quick synopsis of the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. Now, at first look, first glance, like I already said, all action cards straight across the board. We have water, we have air, we have major arcana. So there's like a mixed bag here. We could be looking at separate situations. It could all be one thing. But position number 1, yeah, a lot of things could be in flux. A lot of things could be in change for Aries in this time. 8 of Cups, position number 1. So if you look at the imagery of it, it is a person that looks like they're walking away from those full cups. So of course, this can represent leaving certain things behind, whether it's thought processes, whether it's behaviors or individuals. But like I also said, this is a neutral card to me of action, getting something going, getting something moving. So like this is the early stages of things changing and shifting, especially with the way it ramps up here, because we have 3 different stages of action and change in this week's reading. But yeah, for some of you, I'd say all cards are on a spectrum. There's positive, extremely positive, then there's the challenge. The challenge of this could, if it's not somebody walking away, could be feelings of abandonment, even loneliness sometimes. But the positive is this could be somebody who's chasing down their dreams, their ideals. So we really want to see what that's about to clarify, especially with all the action that's showing up in this spread as a whole, because there's so much movement. Now, as we move to the center of the spread, we have the Chariot. Some of you might be connected to a Cancer or a Cancerian when this card shows up. Beautifully determined when we see it, like somebody who's like willpower, let's go, let's do this. It is the fastest, one of the fastest moving cards in the whole deck. Something shooting off like a rocket. So like I said, this is something getting started with the 8 of Cups, picking up heavy momentum and steam with this Chariot. So once again, distance could be involved, travel can be involved, and just forward momentum and change. That could be said for all of these cards as an overarching theme. Now, I say with the Chariot, there could be challenges with this because the Chariot is an instrument of war, right? So watch out for conflict, button heads with people. There could be a little conflict in the air when this card shows up. But this is just straightforward bursts of action and shifts and changes. So we want to see what this is about. Could be very big and powerful, okay? Especially when the Chariot is involved. Like whether moving to something extremely fast or moving away from something very fast. Could be either. Now moving to the very back end, we have the 6 of Swords. Now this is where the energy seems to calm down, because whereas we start here with getting the ball rolling, full flight, this is moving out of choppy waters into calm, things improving. Once again, the distance, the travel, all the things we were speaking about. There could be a lot of things in flux here with the 6 of Swords, but I generally see this as a card of improvement, things getting better. So there's going to be a lot we need to take a look at. But another thing I have to mention, especially with this card, one of the biggest challenges of the 6 of Swords is somebody either not paying attention to their responsibilities or feelings of abandonment. And that could be said with this 8 of Cups as well. So that might be something some of you are struggling with, like, yeah, like this person just gave up or they abandoned. Let's not walk down that road just yet. Now, 10 of Wands is your bonus. Once again, this is another little footnote. When I see the 10 of Wands, it could be a warning about your physical health and vitality. Watch out for any sorts of sickness or illness when this card shows up. Literally issues with the neck, back, and spine, but this is a burdensome, heavy type of card, so make sure you're getting proper rest and relaxation in this time. If all this action, if all this travel is about a possible vacation, you should probably take one when the 10 of Wands shows up. But we're just going to place this here. It could just be somebody with a lot of weight on their shoulders. Let's dive deeper. We're going to jump in and clarify. All right, let's get a good shuffle here for Aries, please, my gods. What do we got for my friends? And yes, Aries, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that 8 of Cups. And yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages that you want to give to Aries, you can drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, 8 of Cups time. Why is it here? I'm going to keep it moving along where I'm seeing this action, this movement throughout the whole thing. Yeah. Okay. This is big avoidance. Okay, we have the 10 of Swords here. Okay, this could be somebody like trying to avoid a painful situation or painful ending, like trying to circumnavigate their way around it. Like, all right, this might not end too good, so let me just try to sidestep this or avoid this worst case scenario. There's big problem avoidance here with the 10 of Swords in the upright. Now, for some of you, this can be a good alignment. This could speak about emotionally with the 8 of Cups, leaving pain behind, leaving some sort of hurt, some pain, just putting it behind you. Now, in this time, please make sure you're not suppressing things, suppressing pain, or just burying it down below. But when we see this 10 of Swords, it can be a little bit of a warning, right? Of watch your step. The Ten of Swords is rough and tough endings and pain. So I feel like it's either one or the other, either somebody trying to avoid a painful situation or painful ending, or somebody improving from that. Like, okay, I'm going to move past this now. It's run its course. I've worked through it. Now it's time to put that Ten of Swords in the background. So it could be a little warning. Let's see what else plays out through here, because this could be an emotional change as well, but we'll see how the rest of it plays. We're going to go in on that Chariot. Why is the Chariot here for Aries, please? Notice we have 2 10s in this spread as well, like with the 10 of Wands over there. 9 of Swords in reverse, yeah. Yeah, nothing's going to break my stride type of energy here. We have the 9 of Swords in reverse. Nothing's going to hold me back. Nothing's going to stop me. It's full steam ahead. It's full go. Okay, a lot of you could be very much in that mindset. Like, yeah, nothing's going to get in my way. Nothing's going to stop me. When my mind is made up, that it is what it is. A lot of you could have a lot of determination in this time. So we're seeing this progression here. We have the 9 of Swords in reverse, which is usually a card of nervousness, anxiety, overthinking. If you've been struggling with things like that in recent times, like overthinking, nervous, whatever it is, you could be solving that in various different ways. I'm still getting this change, like this forward momentum, this big shifting type of energy, which could be good. If you've been going through some issues or situations that haven't been too comfortable and you're trying to avoid worst case scenarios, this tells me that you're moving towards a very positive place with the 9 of Swords in reverse under this Chariot. But yeah, nothing is going to stop you, or that might be the mindset you're moving into. Tons of determination and will to make something go right. Okay, I'm liking this. Okay, let's keep moving over to the 6 of Swords. Lots of action, lots of change. Very powerful here. Let's see what's on the back end. Then we'll do a quick recap before we get into the shadow card. I mean, I'm liking it, but why is that 6 of Swords here? This, for a lot of people, this could be like a journey, like not just the energies of this week, but a journey. Change, again, is the name of the game. We have the Hierophant in reverse underneath the 6 of Swords. A lot of you could be in the mode and mindset to change some long ingrained things within you, whether that be relationships, whether that be ways of thinking, habits. A lot of you could be trying to change the status quo. For a portion of you, you might be having issues with a Taurus when we have the Hierophant in reverse. But remember, I was speaking about this forward momentum and improvement throughout this whole thing. Yes, there's this massive energy of change. But when we see the Hierophant, yes, it's a spiritual card, but when I see this, I think of day-to-day life, things that are ingrained in our life, power structures, things like that. When it gets flipped on its head, this is a shakeup. This is a big shakeup. The Hierophant in reverse is similar to the Tower in the upright to me. So when I see it under the 6 of Swords, like, now's the time to shake things up. Now's the time to change something up, especially if things have been a little stale, a little monotonous. You might need to really just switch something up big time. And I feel like a lot of you are already in that mindset here, okay? Hopefully you're not having issue. Like, when the Hierophant shows up, it could speak about long-term relationships of all kinds. It could speak about marriages, so maybe some of you are healing past something like that or moving on from something like that. But if you're not watching this for romance, I'm seeing this forward progression. Let's go through and do a quick recap before we get into the shadow card, and I'll kind of explain what I mean. Sweeping action, sweeping change throughout the whole entire spread. If you kindly look in the boxes, 8 of Cups, 10 of Swords. I did say this felt like somebody trying to circumnavigate or try to get around some sort of worst case scenario, but this could also represent somebody leaving a pain in the past behind them. Moving to the center, we pick up more steam. So much determination, so much willpower with the Chariot and the 9 of Swords in reverse. We're getting big improvement as we move along, but nothing better get in this person's way in the center. Like, this is straight up determination. Like, I'm going to get what I want. Moving to the back end, we have the 6 of Swords with the Hierophant in reverse, just switching it up, making those changes. So I think you see the overarching theme here, whether you're making changes in your day-to-day life or your life in general. This is a beautiful energy, I would say, even though there's little bits of possible warnings. There's a little volatility. It's all good, though. Let's get you a shadow card real quick. Please take a screenshot if you'd like to look into it further. I always advise everyone watching to look into the cards further because there's more messages here for sure. But let's get you a shadow card. And yeah, I'm using the Shadowland Tarot as I always do. This is a great deck for doing shadow work, whether it's something within yourself or something you don't quite see just yet. Let's get you one. One shadow card, thank you. Okay, Three of Cups. All right, so when the Three of Cups shows up, watch that you're not overindulging in too much. Watch out for any sticky group situations, of course. This could also represent somebody counting chickens before they hatch. That is something you don't want to do when the Three of Cups shows up as a shadow card. But a main thing I always have to caution about, if this isn't you, it could be somebody you're connected to that has issues with certain substances. So watch out for that in this time specifically. Because this is very much a happy, merry type of card. This is one of my cards of partying it up. So the shadow side of that could be somebody overdoing it. But take things serious when they need to be taken serious as well. And I'm not just talking about the overconsumption and stuff like that. You know, sometimes there are situations that we need to be very serious about and not brush it off, okay? Look into that further too. That's a complicated shadow card, but I mean, the message is there for you if you want it. Aries, that's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet. I'm going to give you the details of the May subscriber surprise. If you got your name in for the April subscriber surprise, the winners will be announced after this week's fire and air signs. But for the May subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 2 copies of the beautiful Tarot of the Owls. Once again, we're going right back to it because it's gorgeous. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things as always. First, you must be subscribed, and second, let me know down in the comments, out of all the cards in this week's reading, which one spoke to you the most. You'll be entered to win, and at the end of May, I will pick the 2 winners at random, as always, my friends. Much love to you, and I'll see you next time.